All right, a very good day to everyone in here. If you can hear me, please signify that you can hear me by saying hi. So we could get on with today's. Hi, Siavash. Welcome back once again, Meta Explore. Hi to Raka also. Hi, Tipe. Hi, Christine. Hi, Grid. Jones and the rest are yet to come. So I'm just going to jump into the latest things. Yeah, I'm just going to jump into the latest things before we begin with the program for today, the field, and I'm going to give you guys the updates alongside or prior to what we are going to do today, right? And first off, I would like to start off by bringing the obvious latest update from the Twitter, which was publicly announced also in the community's Discord. If you had seen that, then let me just briefly expatiate on the things you need to know in order for you to recommend your friends or you yourself start to work alongside the land NFT section of MGLand. Okay, so like I said, the program for today is usually the MGLand Feud, so that will be the last thing. So this is me just trying to run everything down and waiting for more users to join in at the same time before we begin, right? So the first thing, like I said, is about the latest land NFT, and I'm just going to give you a brief breakdown of everything that you need to know about the land NFT, as fresh and as hot as it is right at this particular moment. Yeah. So we all know what a land is, but this time around we're speaking about land based on the metaverse. That's the land NFT itself. So a land, according to the metaverse with MGLand, is an NFT stored on a blockchain. Okay, and it's your assets that sort of like supports you to realize various opportunities. And here in MGLand, there are about 10,000 pieces in total, which would be divided into four types for now. And the current land, which we know, see right now, is built in 2D and supports computers and smartphones. Like right now, some of us are joining in MGLand with smartphones, while some of us are joining in with computers, either desktop or laptop or whatever have you made, maybe a palm top or something like that. And it's very easy to make use of, as you can see. And you could also um, make use of the land on the basis of trading purposes and leasing purposes. Okay, so holding different types of land can sort of like you make you use certain functions. Okay, I think I was trying to read what Meta Pro said, and he said next we should make an app with MG Land. I think definitely we'll be coming to that, definitely. So I'm just sort of like running through the updates, right? And yeah, so with the different sorts of lands, you could sort of like have different functions for free and a set of advanced functions that can be used for different purposes, So the next thing on your mind may be what can you do with this land? Or if you're recommending MG land to someone, what is the purpose of this land NFT, right? And a couple of the obvious points are for us to organize community events, like we are doing right now with the field that happens every Tuesday, alongside maybe AMAs or press conferences that also happens sometimes within the week, and we sort of like publicize it for people to join in and sort of like just have one-on-one meetings with brands we collaborated with in order for us to ask our questions and start to get involved with them. It will be easy for people to publish their NFT to sort of like increase the on-chain assets influence. For example, um, people tend to buy NFTs more on ETH, and there are a few people I'll tell you, in my experience of being in the NFT um, community, right? At first, I thought it was only the ETH that could sort of like have NFTs, or maybe BSC also. I never knew that Polygon could have. That was way, way back when I never knew that Polygon was also capable of NFT possibilities, which I have seen here in MG Land. You can see a couple of us have, a couple of us are logging in with NFTs based on Polygon. Also, the future to come, NFTs based on Solana alongside Ethereum, the standard, and BSC, another standard, right? And what else could you do with all of this? You could also improve your brand's sense of technology. Try to uh, get to audience faster and in real time, in order for you to just say the things you need to let off your chest that make your project sort of like very, very important. Not really just you. If it's not you, then you could recommend a friend who has thought of this, or a community who you might know might need the influence of the land NFT for certain reasons, like improving the brand's sense of technology. Okay, so you could also bind an independent domain name to build your Web3 virtual world on its own. Okay, now that we know what a land is and we know what we could do with these lands, the next thing we obviously also take note of is the land screen functions. We could see a screen right here. You see me moving to this screen in here, which is MG land screen. Now, what is this all about? So you could support um, your content, or any content, whether image or video, on this particular screen. It's sort of like an easy way to sort of just promote your news, events, festivals, and whatever poster as you may have. Because the more users join in, the more they take note of, the see it as a notice board to your land. That's like the first thing they sort of like check when they are looking for something to just know what either the event is about, or what is the update that is next to come. So that's basically explaining the land screen function. Yeah, yeah, very cool, right? And what else in here? We could also see there is a voting building where we are all stacked up beside, right? There's a voting building in here, and you should also know that the land has this utility to sort of like allow users to participate in the voting in real time, and you could collect the user feedback. One thing I like about MG Land's land functions, right, is that they are real time, because the more people join in, they sort of join in real authentically, and sort of just interact with what it is in real time. So you're sure to get the best out of each interaction in the metaverse, right? So, like I said, it just allows for the real time feedback and suggestions in a more timely manner, which connotes real time on its own. And towards the end of every event, like we all know, or if you're a new user, here it is. Towards the end of every event, like we will do so also today, we always have the lottery function. Yeah. Before I go on with that, let me just read what Siavash said. So he says it's an artwork as please send your image or idea about MG Land where you could create an art for our MG Land. Okay, I'm pretty sure we will be able to do this in the community. So let's just reply to that in the community Discord and get to interact with one another, so we could promote everything just fine. Anyway, back to the lottery function. Like we all know, yeah, we have the lucky draws at the end of every event, like we will have also today at the end of the field today. Okay, so the lucky draws and giveaway campaigns are a perfect way to expand your brand. All these I'm speaking on is about you or your friend or a person or a partner trying to get his or her land or their land, and trying to figure out what to do with the land. Okay, we've discussed about the screen, we've discussed about the voting function, we've discussed about what it is as a whole and what you could do um, with a land, right? So the lottery function is just another thing to just add to sort of like just spice things up with your land, okay? And makes a perfect way for you to expand your land. Everybody likes giveaway. I don't see someone who doesn't like any giveaway. So a lucky draw will always attract customers every single time. Wherever there is a giveaway, then there is surely a party in there. So that's what I could just basically run through about the lottery section of what you could do with your land. And basically it's just having you to experience a video chatting session, a live stream, a very large live stream, I mean. And obviously if you are the owner of this land, you will be able to organize events like I am hosting right now. You'll be up on the stage to give you the power to sort of like call up anybody you need to call up by your will. Whenever you're ready to call up anyone, you can call up yourself or invite more people. You could choose to open your camera, you could choose to open your mic, you could choose to basically do anything and everything you wish to do because you would be the host of your own show on your own land. That's one thing you could do also. And all this is possible because you're making use of your NFT. Of course, this is an NFT community. So why not make use of that idle NFT in your wallet? You could also, like I always say, recommend this to friends, projects, and other persons, male, female, everyone. Okay, so the live stream part is pretty obvious because that's what we do every single time. Yeah, hello to you, Christine, and welcome here. So that's what we basically do almost every time, like I am doing right now. This is a live stream right now, and I'm basically just making use of the mic function at this particular time. And the other days, you may see me also open the camera and just use both the camera and the mic at the exact same time. So that's what you could experience by making use of the video chat function and the live stream as a whole, as we may call it, right? Like I said, all this is possible because of your NFT, right? So you could deploy this your NFT in here, coupled along with the spaceship to sort of like make everything look all um, flashy, right? Because of course that's what we do at MG Land. You make use of the NFT and sort of like ties with spaceship, so it's make for more logical movement um, across the lands that are associated in here. Okay, so how or what does it take to set up or mint an NFT, particularly let's say the PUMG at this particular time? So you could just publish your brand NFT without any code, customized network rather. You could set the number of price for the NFT you would want people to mint from your land. For example, like I said, the PUMG building is one which people will sort of like click on it. You could either mint it for free or mint it for free with little gas fee. All this, you're the owner, you have your own things to add or not to add on the land. Just as in the PUMG building for an example, right? And the most obvious point here is to create your own metaverse. Okay, now if you're checking into MGLand as a whole, you would see that the things in every single land are being customized. The MG Land official, you have it, some buildings in there. The Miss Charm Land, you have some buildings in there. The World Cup map, you also have some buildings in here, and you have like a pitch, the pitch markers, the white lines everywhere, the circle, the goalposts, and every other thing you could spot on the land if you sort of like glide through the land. At some places you may get to see flags, so it's fully customizable, and you can make it match your style or the theme you want it to look like. So that will also make you to have or that will make room for the support of the independent domain name access for you to sort of like just register your land with a particular domain name for the access, the independent access, I mean. And MGLand, moving on from customizability, MGLand also supports about 20 plus mini games at this particular time. So being tied to MGLand also grants you access to the mini games that are within the land. And these 20 games are sort of like components for brand marketing. You could also sort of like put in a couple of stage or audience NFTs in there if you want to advertise a particular pack of NFTs. Maybe you could tweak it a little bit and add a few, maybe one, two, three, or five of the NFTs you're trying to part of the NFT you're trying to advertise in there, sort of like watching a football match and the sideboard. the info board that goes around the whole stadium just sort of like display something. So here it is also in the games. You could have a brand NFT collection which you just scatter around when the games are being played. Just place them everywhere for it to be very very noticeable and for people to like just ask questions and sort of like find them wherever they need to be found. Okay, and basically, I think there is one place that we haven't really touched right now here in MG Land since we've been in the land so far, which is the Miss Charm Land. Let me just briefly speak about the Miss Charm Land. We've not been there yet, but here's something that you need to just know. So obviously, MG Land, we have a collab with the Miss Charm, so or we are sort of like unified with Miss Charm, hence the land in there. And what do you think, or what? Let me explain what Miss Charm is to those who don't know about it before we begin to head in there. Miss Charm is sort of like a beauty pageant which has more than 500,000 fans around the world. Hi, Asad Six, welcome to this program. Welcome to today's program. So like just running down through the latest updates before we begin, using the opportunity to also wait for more users to join in at this particular time. So yeah, it's a beauty pageant with more than 500,000 fans around the world, and we sort of like take the competition to a next level by applying the blockchain tech. When I say we, I mean MGLand, right? So like take the competition to the next level by applying the blockchain tech and building a land designed for the Miss Charm as a whole. So the first thing you do if you step into the Miss Charm, I think, by moving just somewhere about a little bit left to the land, you get to see the statue, which automatically denotes the whole beauty pageant essence to the whole land, plus the colors and everything that revolves around the land. I think it's a pretty well built land, and that is a fine sample of anybody who wants to build a land based on collaboration, right? That works really well for you to just check it out right after the event. And you know how it is, the growth of the users on the land. I think it's about time we deserve to sort of like know the progress of what's going on, and just overall the growth of the users of the land is about 27,000 wallets address have been taken down, and over 10K PUMG users as of right now, and there are over 5,000 NFT communities at this particular time, and the rapid growing number of users are being obtained through live activities on the land like we usually do almost every single time. So those are some fresh stats, and you're probably wondering, besides everything I have mentioned here, now how or what does it cost? Okay, what does it cost for you to successfully advertise or or price or put a price tag to these lands? Okay, now let me just explain 4 points to you. Okay, so the larger the land, the higher the brand exposure. Airdrop MGLand, which will soon be released sometime in the future. We have about super land is equal to 64 small land pieces. The larger the land, the more the users can be online, and the more admins and builders can be set. Different number of custom components are also available for free, hence the time when it is sort of like implemented. Okay, so a small land, four places now. A small land is about 0.15 ETH. Okay, a small land is about 0.15 ETH. A medium land is about zero point 0.3. A large land is about zero point 0.6, and a super land is about 1.2. And for everything I say here, 0.15, the size is 15 by 15. Um, zero point 0.3 for the medium is 30 by 30, zero point 0.6 for the large land is 60 by 60, and the super land is 1.2, 120 by 120, all in ETH. So it's basically times 2 of the next one, 0.15 times 2, 0.3 times 2, 0.6, and times 2, 1.2 ETH. Now, you should also understand that the price is reasonable for those who want to own a website and own themselves a land. Okay, before you might think it's so expensive or it's overpriced or something, if you compare it to a couple of assets out there in the natural world order, you get to see that the land is like just the prices are very, very reasonable at this particular time. To those who just want to own a website and get a land for themselves right immediately as they begin. Okay, so that is everything for now. And obviously, we have the company's contact, which you might send to people who you may be advertising this to, or you yourself. You need the company contact. I guess maybe I'm going to put that in the Discord later or towards the end of the event. I'm just going to drop that in the chat box somewhere there, and it indicates where I put it. So that's fresh about the update for the um, newly published land NFT with MGLand. Okay, and it's about 21 minutes I've used to sort of like update us on what is happening or the latest with the community. Now, I would just love to go straight to what's going on with our program. Let me just jump straight to our program. And we are at the stage, we are at the semi-final in the World Cup, and it's I think today's match is Croatia versus Argentina. Okay, that's the latest for football at this particular time, and I think we might just begin this one. So if you're with me right now, you can just indicate, and I'm going to begin with the feud for today. Gonna begin with the feud for today. Once I get some reactions, maybe we are ready, or hey, or hi, or let's go. Can we do that? And one thing I might say, yeah, let's fucking go by Siavash. That's cool. One thing I might say right now is there's been an update to the program. So, alongside giving you the latest information, I would also have to tune down the number of questions that will be slotted out for the field. So, it has been reduced from 5 field questions to 3 field questions. That's all you need to know at this particular time, and the rules remain the same. The first correct answer will be taken. So by the time you mention one answer, if you are not too sure of it, you could mention another or another within the time space. But if you are sure of it, I would like you to stay at your first answer. If your answer has been taken, you should move to the next answer you might have in your mind, just to not get duplicate answers and let you have your unique answer so that you wouldn't lose any particular point. And a bunch of people are already ready, so sort of like ready right now. So I'm just going to start this one. Remember, I said it's been reduced to 3 questions, so it's not going to take much of your time. And I'm just going to begin in 3, 2, 1, and I think we are live at this particular time. So the first question for the field says, name a famous number 10 for Argentina. Name a famous number 10 player for Argentina. There are 5 possible answers, so feel free to move to the next answer once someone has already mentioned an answer which you just mentioned. Feel free to move to the next answer so you wouldn't have duplicate answers. First correct answer only, like I said. So if your answer has been mentioned by someone else, it is advisable to move to the next one on your mind. Feel free to also make use of any tools or resources that you might have at this particular time. So, every football club or football country must have different players for different times, different seasons. So, definitely, there will be more than one number 10 player in the history of Argentina. So, just be sure to mention a few that you might know. Okay. So, I see most people saying Messi. Yeah, Messi. That's awesome. But surely, like I said, if you said Messi a little bit later or Maradona a little bit later, it's advisable to sort of like get yourself another answer because there are about five possible answers. There are legends also. Number 10, Maradona is a legend. There's also a couple of them for Argentina specifically. So we just have a few minutes to answer this particular one. Please do well to take note of the updates with the land. You could follow MGLand on Twitter at MGLand Official for the latest updates, community, and live with the website and everything you need to know. Every collab is in there, every latest gossip is in there, every latest collab is also in there. Let's see. I think I will just drop some hints in order for everybody to get a point for this particular one. If you haven't mentioned any answer, then this is one of the names of somebody. So if you can complete it, you get yourself that particular point. If you can complete it, get yourself a particular point. Um, wow, okay, I see Siavash just went a whole, he just went long, right? Just went long. Okay. If let me give another hint, if you could complete this name, then you've gotten yourself also an answer. And if you can complete this name, you've gotten yourself also an answer. So that's three names I dropped there: Omar, Juan, and Ricardo. If you could complete all those names, then you have gotten yourself one answer. Remember, the field is now three questions, so you have three shots at winning the field. For okay, okay, I think that one goes to Grid for getting the correct answer. And let's see, is there anybody who has the answer for Ricardo and anybody who has the answer for Umar? Please be aware that I didn't arrange this in order of powers. So for whichever one it is you are picking, just try to guess correctly which one will be allocated the highest point. I'm going to just wait for an extra 30 seconds for anybody who wants to use any external resources to get the answers to this particular one. It's the month of December. I see people are sort of like trying to enjoy the holiday and just take time to just live life off the internet. But, you know, it's all good. Okay, since I have gotten no further answers, I think I would just bring this one to an end for this particular time. Then we do the assessment and move on to the next one real quick and stop. So let us or let me reveal the answer. So the one that I was saying was Riccardo Buccini. He was a classic number 10 for Argentina, but I don't think anybody mentioned Riccardo Buccini. And the next person on the list was, did John mention Riccardo Buccini? Let me see. Let me see. I'm checking the history real quick. Okay, John's mentioned Buccini before I mentioned Buccini. So definitely I will give that to John's. So John's give that to you. So John first point. So the next one is my answer has been seen. I don't know if my answer has been seen. Yes, it's lagging. So like I said, uh draw 14 points if anybody mentioned that. Greed mentioned is anybody okay? You guys can hear me good. Um the next answer, I don't think anybody mentioned Uma. Oh, can you hear me? How about now? Can you hear me right now? How about yes? Okay, good. So the next answer was Uma's next answer, which is pretty obvious at this particular time, Lionel Messi. So anybody who mentioned Lionel Messi is going to get 25. The first person, rather, Meta X Pro was the first person to mention Messi. So Meta X Pro gets the 25 points. Real good. And last but not the least, last but not the least, was or is one of the best number 10 players of all time for Argentina, which is Diego Maradona. First is going to get the 30. Anybody who mentioned that first is going to get 32 points associated to Maradona. Let me see. I see Siavash says he mentioned Maradona first, and that is well correct. Mentioned Maradona first. You were a bit lucky in there because Meta Explore mentioned Messi first, and then you mentioned Maradona next. But anyway, it's cool. You get yourself a cool 32 points, Siavash. Congrats for that. And I might as well just give you guys the leaderboard right now for the round one, if I may. So those are the people on the score sheet: John's Grid, Meta Pro, Meta X Pro, and Siavage. Let me briefly move on to the next part, which is the number two question, real quick. Let's get ready because here it comes in three, two, one, and it says, name a popular Croatia player. Name a popular Croatia player. All going on here is with the S. That's about 7 UTC. It's about 7 p.m. UTC. So all going on in here right now is just as a response to the themed match of the day. Okay, just the theme to the match of the day. There are a couple of good, good survey answers, and it's best for us to mention a few. Let me just give you some alphabets which the names begin with, right? So I have here with me a letter B, a letter P, a letter K, a letter R, and a letter M. That's about five possible answers from the survey, real quick. And I think, like I said, let me just drop the hint alphabets in here. I have a letter M, I have a letter B, I have a letter P, I have a letter K and R. R. So if your answer falls within this place, either name or last first name or last name, you should get yourself an answer. You should get yourself an answer, surely. There are a bunch of them, and all of them end on right. They end in IC, definitely. So MRKPB and all end in IC. So if the name you checked with your resource doesn't end in IC, then I think I don't think that's it. Let me see. Um, let me see. I don't think I see all the answers. I don't see. Yeah, another hint is that one of the players played. One player here I see, or the players. There is someone who plays for Real Madrid. There is somebody who played for Barcelona, but now Sevilla. There's somebody who played for Chelsea. There is somebody who played for Inter Milan and Bayern Munich. There is somebody who plays for Inter Milan. Inter Milan, yeah. So you could check through that if you want further hints. Okay, I think I'm gonna bring this one to an end in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I would say stop at this very time. Let me just briefly review the answers to you. 12 points. If anybody said Perisic, you got yourself 16 points. If anybody said Kovacic, you've got yourself there 20. If you said Rakitic, you've got yourself 24 points. And if anybody said Modric or Modric, you've gotten yourself 28 points. So let me just start from Brozovic. I don't think anybody mentioned Brozovic. Perisic, I think a few might have had a typo, so I'm just going to take the first typo I see. I'm just going to take that as Perisic, right? So let me see. Um, Perisic from OX, okay, Nisa 66 says Perisic first. So congrats to Nisa for that particular one. So you get yourself the points for Perisic, um, which is 16. You get yourself 16 points for Perisic. You are welcome to the score sheet, by the way. 16 points. And next up was Rakitic. I don't know if anyone mentioned Rakitic. I don't think so. Yeah, nobody mentioned Rakitic. The next person was okay, no, Kovacic actually. Kovacic was 20 points. So let me check on who mentioned Kovacic first off. Check on that. Kovac. Kovac. Is that Kovac? Well, that Kovac is not Kovacic. His real name is Matteo, not was is Matteo Kovacic. So I don't think anybody mentioned that. And I move on to the next one, Rakitic, no one, and Luka Modric, just Modric as a whole. So if you said Modric, then definitely you've got yourself the highest point at this particular time. Let me just check through that. And I see Meta Explorer is not yet on the list. He mentioned uh, Kovacic. Meta Explorer mentioned Modric rather. He mentioned Modric first. Yeah, sure. He mentioned Modric first, and Meta Explorer gets the point for Modric at this particular time, and that is 28 points. That is 28 points there. Wow. Okay, Meta Explorer, congrats for the 28 points you got here. And we move to the last round, last but not least round. And yeah, sure. We move to the last round. And if you're ready for this, may I just see a few reactions so I could drop it? I think this particular one will, if you study or like the football, yeah, Meta Explorer isn't the first to say Modric, yes, but Nisar already got the point. Nisar already got a point for saying, I think that's Perisic. Let me see. Meta Explorer. Okay. And I see here that Meta Explorer was the next person to say Luka Modric, so that's why he's getting the point for Luka Modric, right? Okay. Let's see. We have another one in the list. Which other one is that? Before we move on to the next one, which other one is that? Okay, in the absence of Savage, let me move on to the last question for the day. The last question for the day. And if you're someone who wants to Google footballs right now, you should definitely um, Google footballs right now because this particular one is about footballs. And it says here, name some popular World Cup match football names. The football that they used to play the World Cup matches. Just name a few of them. Maybe one. There are about five possible answers right now. What do they call the ball? Okay, what do they call the ball? If feel free to use Google for this particular one. You know the last part of the field is always the hardest part, so feel free to use any and every resource you have. Okay, I see Aurela. Good. Aurela, good. who would like to add answers? I think Jabulani was the most common, is the most common and most popular among all the footballs they used in the past. Among all the used in the past, Jabulani was the most popular, and I think anybody who focused on World Cup at that particular year would know Jabulani very very well. Um, there's still a few of them. There's still there were five possible answers. I've seen three have been taken already, and feel free to drop your own answer if you feel you haven't said anything. I might help you guys out. Uh, Let me help you out with the first letters to what I have in the survey. I have also another. I have B and I have J. In no particular order, ones that fall into that category, then you have yourself a point. Please be aware that if you say Adidas, about 90% of the footballs used in World Cup were Adidas or are Adidas, so not really the Adidas. They have specific names. Okay, we have about a few more, about 1 minute to round up this particular point. Please, after this question, I think I would take the time to just share the update on the leaderboard. I think I'll just take the time to share the update on the leaderboard right now. Be- About 30 seconds on the clock to round up this particular one. And this session comes to an end in three, two, one, and stop. Okay, thank you for your answers. Start to get the stats for this particular one. I would just like to update the leaderboard or show the update on the leaderboard for anyone who wanted to see that. That's the leaderboard update. And let me just review the answers to this last question. If you mentioned the team geist, you mentioned the team geist, then you've got yourself 11 points. You have more. Siavage says, I have more. How do you Servers, you have an answer for, you have a point for, you have a point for round one. In the second question, let me check that out. Let me check that out. Meta Pro isn't first. Let me check that out before I proceed. Okay, I am right here in the second question and get the point in the first one. That's from Meta Passport. Okay, so here was it. I think it was the question that denoted um, popular Croatia footballers, right? So, according to the stats here, Meta Pro, first of all, you have to. Nisar was the first person to mention Luka Modric, right? But Luka Modric was the point he already got a point, right? Perisic. Hence, the Luka Modric answer goes to Meta X Pro. Meta X Pro was the next to say Luka Modric. That's why I awarded the point to Meta X Pro. No, bro. I'm reading this from the Maradona Messi. Oh, the first one. Okay, let me check that out. It's loading. Just give me some time. Okay, let me see. Um, okay, so in the first one, Meta X Pro was the first to say Messi. Then you said Messi second Siavash. I have a stat here. I have a stat here. I have the screenshots. Meta X Pro was the first to say Messi before you said Messi next. Okay, that's for one thing. Then let me see. Let me see where you got. No, in the second question, bro. I just read the second question, which was about Croatia. You said it was the first question, and I went to the first question about Messi. I don't understand your point. I don't get your point. Moving on. Moving on. The third for the round three, the answers were Team Geist. If anybody mentioned Team Geist, you get yourself 11 points, and I don't think anybody mentioned. Wait, let me check that out. Okay, I don't see Team Geist. And the next one was Jabulani. If you mentioned Jabulani, you get yourself 16 points. If you mentioned Jabulani. So let me see who mentioned Jabulani first somewhere or anywhere. Okay, I see Siavash was the first to mention Jabulani, so Siavash gets the 16 points. He sent a screenshot for me. 16 for Siavash for Jabulani at this particular time. And the next one is Brazuka. If you said Brazuka, you're gonna get yourself 20, 20 points. You answered Marcelo Brozovic. Okay, let me see. Marcelo Brozovic. Okay, I'm going to assume that that is a typo from your end. That's why I missed it. You mentioned Marcelo Brozovic. Okay, that should be Brozovic. Now, if that is the point you meant, then you get yourself from the typo, you are going to get yourself 12 points. So you get 12 points for round two for mentioning Brozovic. Meta Express says I answered Brazuca. I'm going to check that out right now. Let me see. Let me see. The first person actually to mention Brazuca is Nicer. Nice. No, yeah, it was Savage already, but Savage got Jabulani, so Nicer was the first to answer Brazuca with a little typo, so that point goes to Nicer 20. Point goes to Nicer 20. And the next one is the Telstar 18 or Telstar, the Telstar series. Okay, so if you just mentioned Telstar, I'm going to still give you the point. Let me see the first person who hasn't gotten any point right now. Okay, Meta X Pro was the first to mention the Telstar series. Hold up, hold up. I see someone mentioned the Teamgeist. I think I missed that one. The Teamgeist was mentioned by Arsat. I think that should be Arsat. Yeah, Arsat mentioned the Teamgeist. So Arsat is going to get him or herself on the score sheet first off before awarding the point for the Teamgeist, which was 11. So I'm just going to add that to you. 11 points. Okay. And I was speaking about the Telstar and on the Telstar. If you mention the Telstar series, you get yourself 24 points. 24 points to Meta Explore. 24 points to Meta Explore. Okay, 24 points to Meta Explore. And the next one on the list here is, I think, the latest, which is the Aurila. Aurila, and if you mention that, you get yourself 29 points. So let me just check that out real quick. Who was the first? Okay, actually Meta Explorer got the Aurila, but he also had another answer, which was the Telstar. So whoever else mentioned the Aurila series is going to get the point 29. And I see here Nisa. Is Nisa already on the score sheet? Yes, Nisa is already on the score sheet. Let's see who this one will come down to. Um, the Aurila. Let's see. Anybody else mention Aurila? Yeah, I see. Meta Passport mentions Aurila. So I'm going to give that to. I'm going to give that to Meta Passport, the 29. Congrats to Meta Passport for getting 29 for the round three. And I'm just going to once again uh, produce the leaderboard, and that brings us to the end of today's Feud program. And I'm just going to run the giveaway bots right now. I'm just going to run the giveaway bots at this particular time for us to get additional winners to the five that will be mentioned or shown right here, right after you guys see the standings. Okay, so these are the standings right now after the 3 rounds, and we could just see congrats to first off Meta Explore. for coming in at. Can say congrats to Meta X Pro for coming in at 77 points. First off, yeah, I've checked the DMs average, and the next person here is Savage. Okay, Savage also came in high with 60 points. He's going to be among the five persons to be rewarded. And the next person after 60 is obviously 36, which is Nicer. Nicer is also among the five. Then the next person here is Meta Passport, just coming in real fast. Meta Passport coming in real fast was the end with the high score there. And the last but not the least of everyone, or the others who got 11. So right now here are the field winners for today. Here are the field winners for today. And real quick, I'm just going to run the giveaway bot for the lucky five winners. Just going to run the giveaway bot for the lucky five winners. Let me run the giveaway bot for the lucky five winners. So please pay attention. If you haven't won anything yet, pay attention to the far right of your screen to get your reward or get a chance to be among the five persons or the 10 people. Okay, so countdown will begin right. I'm just gonna make this, yeah, begin right now. Okay, I have five winners here right now, and I'm going to exclude um Savage and yeah, I'm going to exclude Savage and Meta Passports because they already are winners for today. We're trying to catch more winners at this particular time. So Huang, congrats to you. Congrats to TP Bravo. Congrats to Adsak. Yeah, congrats to Adsak. That's three persons at this particular time. And I'm just going to re-roll for two more people. So sort of like just join the winners right now. Just going to re-roll for two more people. So I guess everybody might be lucky at the end of today. Let me see. Um, please stand by for a re-roll for two more persons in the next few seconds. Okay, so re-roll starts right now in about 10 seconds. Pay attention to the giveaway bots in Three, two, one. This is a reroll for two more persons. Reroll for two more persons. Please feel free to click the box at your far right. Let's get two more people in here to join the winners. And at the beginning of the event, I also said that I am going to drop the contact details of MGLand, so you could refer your friends who want to sort of like contact MGLand for collabs. Now, if you want to contact MGLand through email, you could do that right here, or you could join the server or the website, which is mg.land, and also you could follow the Twitter of MGLand right at here. Okay, so I save in hack again. Wow. I think I'll just have to reroll for multiple users. So I'm just gonna get I'm just gonna move on. Yeah, I'm just gonna move on from one place to another, the next, so we won't have to reroll plenty times. Let me do that for the max number of people, and the persons who confirm will just get the reward. The persons who confirm in accordance to how they appear, left to right, then down, left to right, then down, left to right. So feel free to hit the box at the far right to get one winner or two winners at this particular time. I'm just selecting two persons at this particular time. So let's take note of that. And as I do that, I would say what I said earlier. The prices for small land, everything is in ETH 0.15 for small land. Um, then again, I have 0.3 for medium. Medium land is 0.3. Then again, 0.6. Then again, 1.2 for a large land. That's exactly how it is. Okay, so I move from left to right, then down from left to right. So Sha, if you are here, can you confirm? SHA, can you confirm? Okay, Sha has confirmed. The next person on the list is I think TP was already selected, so the next person on the list is Jones. Jones, can you confirm? Okay, Jones and Sha are both here, so I guess we have gotten our two additional persons, which would be Jones and Sha. So thank you to everyone who showed up. Let me just send that again into the metaverse for you to know the winners for today, all 10 of them. Just gonna send that in here. So here are the field winners once again, and also here are the lucky winners today. Okay, so thank you to everyone who showed up at this particular time. Please take note of what I said about the land NFT. It's hot, it's fresh. Check it out. Follow also mg.land through the Discord in there, and I would see you guys next week Tuesday, I guess. Or if there are any EMAs upcoming, then I would just mention it and I would join in the room. So see you guys next time. Thank you to everybody. Thank you, John. Thank you, Siavash. Thank you to everybody who appeared today. Rewards will be distributed at a later time. Thank you and good night to everyone. Don't forget to watch the match today, Argentina versus Croatia.